after multiple delays, Unified Command is in the process of refloating the Dali and getting the ship out of the harbor. WMAR 2 News' Janae Wright is at the site of the bridge collapse. Janae, when can we expect to see the Dali moving through the harbor and back to port?
Well, Jeff, tonight should be the last night that the Dali is here at the Key Bridge wreckage site. Looking over my shoulder, we can see a part of the Dali. Well, it's dark, but you can see some of the lights that are still out there because crews are still working to make some of those final preparations. Now, the plan is to move the vessel for the first time in 7 weeks, but there was still some last-minute preparation. They've been working at it all day for the past few hours. Earlier today, and Unified Command is doing everything it can to make sure that it's on schedule to leave in a couple of hours. Unified Command originally planned to move the Dali last week after the controlled demolition. There was wreckage which still needed to be cleared off the ship before it could be refloated.
We've done our last preparatory cuts to remove any of the remaining wreckage that was hanging and dangling off of the vessel so we can facilitate a safe refloating back to a marine terminal here in the Port of Baltimore.
Unified Command is checking off a list of steps they have to do before the Dali is set to depart at high tide, which is around 5:24 Monday morning. This includes releasing some of the anchors and mooring lines attached to the Dali, removing part or all of the 1.2 million gallons of ballast water from the ship's tanks, as well as another detailed inspection to make sure all obstructions have been removed from the left side of the Dali.
We're very lucky that the hull was never damaged at all during the event. We want to keep it that way.
SD Pinchason, commander of the Baltimore District Army Corps of U.S. Engineers, says she's proud of the work everyone involved was able to do for the last 7 weeks to not only get the Dali out of the harbor, but to also reunite the 6 construction workers we lost with their families.
It's really important to understand that in order to find the people, we had to do salvage. The salvage became the recovery. That was the search. And the greatest accomplishment here was to be able to return the 6 Marylanders, the 6 missing people, to their family and give them some closure.
As soon as they're able to get the Dali on its way to the Marine Terminal, Unified Command will also open up another channel.
Plan to open a 400-foot by 50-foot channel tomorrow, and hopefully in the next week or so we'll be at that 700-foot channel, which is our goal.
This channel will allow all vessels in and out of the harbor, the first step towards a return to normal business for the port. And the Dali will be on its way at high tide, which is set for around 5:24, which is just in a few hours. So it's very, very early Monday morning. And the vessel is going to be traveling at about 1 mile per hour. It's being towed by smaller tugboats pushed along to the terminal. It's going to leave, and it's going to take about 2.5 hours because it's traveling at a mile per hour, so it should take about 2.5 hours for the boat to get to the terminal. And Unified Command will also be releasing a time lapse of that entire 2-hour trek from the harbor to the terminal. And once they release it, we'll have those videos as well. In Dundalk, Janae Wright, WMAR 2 News.